Lake Geneva is known for its crystal clear lake, unique walking path, and some of the most beautiful lakefront mansions in the world. In today's episode, we take a tour of the oldest mansion on the lake, Black Point Estates, and take a lakeside tour of some of the more historic properties. Stick around to the end when a chance encounter with a local resident brings out the laughs.
Welcome to LoveNesters.
We are a Wisconsin couple trying to keep life interesting now that our kids have left the nest. Join us on adventures big and small as we look for the quirky and unique while having some fun along the way.
Thanks for being here. Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We are in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
We are headed on a boat tour today, and we're going to end up at Black Point Estates, the home of a beer baron.
What?
I know. Should be fun.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
We arrive by boat just as the guests of this beautiful home would have 100 years ago, as there were no roads to the property until the 1930s. Okay, so this is part of the fun, 120 steps to the top. Jeff's gonna take him at a bit of a run. Black Point Estates was the summer home of Conrad and Katerina Sipe. It is a stunning example of Queen Anne style. When it was originally built in 1888, there were 13 bedrooms and 1 bathroom and cost $20,000 to construct. From 1888 to 2005, it was used by 4 generations of the Sipe family before the house and all of its contents were donated to the state of Wisconsin in 2005. It has been open for tours from May 1st to October 31st since 2007. We recovered from the 120 steps on one of the beautiful porches. Here we learn that Conrad was a beer baron who ran the Sipe Brewery. He and his wife Katerina had 5 children. At the time that they built the summer house, they also built their winter residence on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Unfortunately, Conrad only got to enjoy the Black Point Estate for 2 years before he died. You will see many examples of the CS logo throughout the property, starting with the front door. This room contains a chicory piano. At the time, it was more famous than the Steinway piano. It was delivered by boat and dragged up the hill. You will also notice that some of the furniture sits low to the ground in this room. These pieces are from before the Civil War and were designed for women wearing hoop skirts.
This is the trend that the family started. That table is actually a decoupage with mother of ivory, and both the chair and the table, and that was purchased at the Columbian Expo in 1893.
The stained glass window in this room is not original to the house, but the family did purchase it in 1893.
Fun fact, all the fireplace tile was custom made specifically for this family.
You can extend this out for 40 people.
Wow.
So you start to have those large groups. and this would be a space that they could expand. It is made custom for Katerina and Conrad.
The chairs were custom made not only for the room, but the people that lived in this home, so you'll notice they are in different shapes and sizes. The dining room has many beautiful elements. Victorian homes were often wallpapered with burlap, and that's what you see on the walls here.
It is the music that you hear is created. This is operational, but it's not operating right now. We're playing a CD.
Oh, I'm like, I hear it over there.
It is the music that is created by playing these discs.
Oh, wow. It even has the Lorelei on
And it
there.
has the Lorelei on it.
In homage to their beer brewing past, the cabinet glass in the dining room is made with the bottoms of beer bottles.
Hey, in the billiards room, there's a 150-year-old Zillard table. It survived the Chicago fire, but it was restored. Friends make fun of each other, and if you look at these mugs, Sipes and Pabst were great friends, and Sipes made fun of Pabst because Pabst's slogan was the best beer in America.
So they had the foresight to put a bathroom in. Obviously, it's been remodeled since it was originally done.
So this room, I like to point out, it has this incredible view from all sides.
Used to be closets, and they've been converted into bathrooms. There's a beautiful porch that goes all the way around the second floor. See their logo again, the C and the S. You'll see that on a lot of things in this house. They kept track of the kids' heights and weights throughout the years. Wow. Okay, this is one of the bedrooms. The airflow in here is incredible. It is a warm day outside, but it is so cool inside. Very pleasant. So the oldest furniture in the house are these pieces. These are actually maple that's carved to look like bamboo. So the furniture in this place was all donated with the property, and beautiful, beautiful examples. This is called the Victorian room. The beds in here were purchased between 1880 and 1900. The dollhouse was built by Conrad for his youngest daughter. A local history group restored the house. Bits and pieces of the furniture are original.
This elegant Victorian estate sits on over 28 acres of land and has 620 feet of shoreline on the most prestigious lake in Wisconsin. Hey, when the family was in town, they put up the flag.
We really enjoyed our time here. Very fun visit.
The family's passion for evergreens was evident because they planted over 74 different species. Wow. Lake Geneva was the summer getaway for many of America's most successful business people.
This home was originally built for the Harris family in the early 1900s. The landscaping was done by the Olmsted brothers, who happened to do the landscaping for Central Park and the Capitol grounds. At one point, the president of Morton Salt lived here. Restrictions have been placed on the property to prevent it from ever being subdivided. Black Toft was originally built in 1881. At one time, it was the summer residence of a member of the family that founded the Montgomery Ward department store. Bonnie Bray was built in 1897 by the Ryersons. They owned one of the only lumber yards to survive the Chicago fire. They were also supporters of the arts, including Claude Monet, who once visited here.
This mansion, built in 1906, was built by the owner of the company that eventually became True Value Hardware Store. The P.T. Barnum circus tent actually surrounded this home in the winter to complete construction.
Green Gables is part of the Wrigley estate. There are about 6 buildings that make up that estate.
Edgewood, the owner of the Swift Meat Packing Company, built this house for his family in 1906. The Vicks family of the wonderful Vicks Vapor Rub actually owned this Alta Vista home.
Glen Fern was once owned by Judge Sears, a Chicago judge who was reported to be the only honest judge in Cook County. Fairlawn was built in 1894 for Charles Wacker, who was the president of the Chicago Planning Commission after the Chicago fire. Fun fact, the exterior columns are all made of cypress and are original to the house. I think the Schwinn Estate is my favorite. This was once the site of the Schwinn Estate, the owners of the bicycle company. It was built in 1928, and in 1993, when it was sold, it was torn down, and this building was built in its place. The largest estate ever built on Lake Geneva is called Stone Manor. It was built by a German immigrant in 1899. It has over 50,000 square feet, an indoor miniature golf course and bowling alley, a rooftop pool, and a dining room table that will seat 100. The person who built it invested in the land that makes up downtown Chicago after the Chicago fire.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters.
Thanks for coming along on another one of our weekly adventures. We had a great time exploring Geneva Lake and the Black Point Estates.
And a huge thank you to Nancy, our tour guide. She gave us insightful information, and we had so much fun with her on the tour. So thank you, Nancy.
She thought you were funny, dear. She's a saint.
1%.
1%. That's all we hope for. So we try to post these adventures every Friday. If you're looking for some inspiration on fun things to do to make your life interesting, we hope you'll subscribe to our channel and join us on these adventures.
Why not?
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
This is Otterbox Take One.
Okay.
Ready? Hi, Jeff.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We are in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. We're here with the local Tony.
Tony, yeah.
So what's the best part of Lake Geneva?
Down here, hey, they have this ice sculpture kind of thing. Like in February, first week of February, it's the World Ice Sculptures. You know, they have them in here, and then they got them up in Ottenhagen.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
now your wife, I think your wife's from Ottenhagen.
She's a Youper.
Yeah, up on Highway 2. Yeah.
I'm up there in Highway 2 there.
Yeah, we used to go from St. Germain, Wisconsin, all the way up to Ottenhagen. We'd have lunch and then come on back. Then once in a while, stop at Manitouich Waters and, you know, go over to Lac de Flambeau.
I can hear the Lake Geneva accent.
I do have a Lake Geneva accent, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And today is your birthday, Tony.
It is my birthday
Congratulations.
today, yep.
Oh my goodness, this
Yep.
is incredible. You have the whole family here celebrating?
No, just 2 of my 6 daughters and 1 of my 17 grandchildren.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what? At least you got those to come up here.
Well, they're the only ones that like me.
Well,
You know, it's just the way it goes. You know, but goes. That's a Wisconsin thing, right?
well, thank you for being with us
All right.
today, Tony.
Jeff, it's good to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you.
Thanks for meeting me here, and I get back. I'll be right there, guys. I'll get back on the tour
Yeah,
bus, and we'll go ahead and head to Chicago.
There goes the senior bus.
No, that's not. That's my coach.
Oh.
That's my coach.